Okay, folks. Now, this is a topic that I haven't touched on in quite a while. I think ever since Tia first started that reality show, when that was announced, that was the last time I talked about her and Corey Hardrict. Now, on my main channel, I did discuss that Corey, things are going well for him with his recent contract with Tyler Perry, making millions of dollars doing movies with him. And this was for Divorce in the Black, I believe, and future projects with Tyler Perry Studios. But something that's been popping up in my news feed over the past few days has been old news from about a week and a half ago, and that's reportedly, and remember, nothing is fully confirmed, but reportedly, Corey and Tia are back together. Like I said, nothing has been fully solidified, but it seems rather likely. I mean, there are different sources talking about it, and even Tasha K, who talked about how her and Corey would talk sometimes about, the situation. Corey would never tell too much details because he's a very private guy or give his full feelings on what's been going on since the divorce. But she mentions how he hasn't been responding to her recent DMs, which could indicate that, Tia's back in the house and, isn't allowing him to talk to her anymore. So it's just crazy to me how this entire situation has, played out, because it does seem to signal that they're back together, because I haven't seen Tia go viral recently. Ever since the divorce, she goes viral for either her thirst trap post or, her going on different platforms talking about the divorce and her dating life and, graduating from marriage and whatnot, or, something in regards to, let's say she has some of her friends on the reality show and she talks about the divorce and turning, burning down her wedding ring or wedding band and this, that, and the third. So to me, I'm just giving my 2 cents, because at the end of the day, I don't know these people. It's just one of those things where if it were me in Corey's situation, I wouldn't take her back, because to me, we have seen a number of different celebrity couples go through this, where it's made public that a couple is filing for separation or filing for divorce, and then that's it. It's not uncommon for women to go around and talk about how they're thriving after the divorce and the settlements and things like that. But then if a couple reconciles, it's not that bad, especially if neither one of them were throwing, slander or mudslinging one another in the media. They kept everything private. Now, with Tia, she pretty much capitalized on the divorce in every way possible. She was on, what was it, The View or The Real or whatever show, talking about how she graduated from marriage and it was all about self-care and pretty much putting herself above her husband and their whole family with the kids and everything. It's all about what felt best for her. Now, like I said before, I don't know these people and we don't know them that much either. So we, to this day, we still don't know the exact reason why they got a divorce, but it definitely seemed like it was Tia doing her own thing. Now, initially people tried to call out Corey saying he cheated, but the man of few words, who rarely ever spoke out about the situation, quickly called that, no, that's the furthest thing from the truth. And given how, the Mowry family seems very close, Tia's sister and brother and whatnot, you would, and this is just my own personal belief, if Corey was mistreating this woman, her family would have been in the press going in on him. Because, with Tia throwing all these shots at him, not saying his name, they probably had NDAs and whatnot, hence why his name was never really brought up in a lot of these interviews and on the reality show. But the fact that she would take these pop shots at him in her post and stuff like that, and she would talk about how great being single is, and heck, even the isn't her reality show called like Her Next Chapter and whatnot, and her going on these dates and whatnot, and basically as soon as the marriage was over, she was going from platform to platform, and I compared her going on a divorce tour, like Monique going on her boycott tour with Netflix. Like, she went on every platform she can get on to talk about how she was wronged and this, that, and the third. And I'm like, instead of, getting on these humongous platforms to slander Netflix, why don't you promote something like, you're going to produce your own special, or things didn't work out with Netflix, so I'm going to go to another platform and here's the special I'm doing for them. It's like you're wasting an enormous opportunity you have here to just speak negatively, and it's ridiculous. And with Tia, instead of promoting any sort of film or project she was doing, all she would do is talk about how, her marriage wasn't serving her anymore, and, I outgrew it. And it's just like, wow. And then as time went on, she went from like, there was a megaphone volume in her voice to then feeling weary and disheartened because she found out that the grass isn't greener. What's that saying? The grass is greener where you water it. And she found out that there really aren't men out there that want her the way she thought she was wanted. And I mean, you got to think about the fact that Tia, she's very attractive. She's mid 40s, climbing the ladder to 50, but she still looks amazing. But the fact of the matter is, not only do you have, kids, but on top of that, any man of value looks at how you were dragging your ex-husband in the press. And it's like, why would I try to get involved with her? Because what if things don't work out? Next thing you know, I'm going to be a new segment on her reality show, or she goes on another podcast, she'll just drag my name through the mud. And why deal with her when I could deal with, younger women who look just as good, if not better, but they don't come with all the baggage she does. And not to mention, like she said, Cory was like her first, long-term relationship, and her first, the man who took her virginity and whatnot, or she gave it to. So, I mean, obviously the dating realm for when her and Cory got together in the 90s, early 2000s or whatever, is completely different than the world of 2023 through 2025, when she got the divorce a couple years ago. So for me, I just feel like if Cory had any self-respect, he wouldn't take her back. I mean, but he has shown himself and said, it was hard for him, dealing with the divorce, because even though his children are right down the street, he cries himself to sleep because, he's a family man. So one could argue that, yeah, he would take her back regardless, because him wanting the family back together is what he wanted. But I just feel like if you left me once because, you weren't being served or whatever, the marriage wasn't serving you, who's to say you won't leave me again? And also, I'm not saying she's a gold digger, but what if Cory didn't have this contract making millions of dollars with Tyler Perry? Would she still go back to him? Because it was kind of hinted at that maybe she felt like she was carrying the weight financially in the relationship, in their marriage, because Cory's a working actor just like Tia, but his career never really took off to the level of her. She went from Sister to The Game to what was that show on Netflix, Family Reunion, and several other projects scattered throughout. And it doesn't seem until recent years Cory had a steady gig with his role in the series All American. And it wasn't until after the divorce he got the role in Tyler Perry's Amazon film Divorce in the Black, and now things are, looking up for him. So it's almost like for Tia to go, the marriage was no longer serving me, to divorcing him and going out on her own and finding out things are rougher than she thought. It's almost like her leaving Cory was a blessing in disguise, because his career just reached astounding new heights. So to me, I just feel like there was a massive disrespect going on here. And you have to wonder, whenever it comes to divorces like this, men have to maintain a level of self-respect and dignity, because if a man went out there and got a divorce from his wife, what's his name? I forgot. I can't think of his name at the moment, but Megan Good's ex-husband, who filed for divorce from her. What if he went to The View, Sway in the Morning, any podcast he can get on, and just, talk about how, yeah, my marriage wasn't serving me anymore, and I had to look out for myself, self-care, this, that, and the third. And, he wrote a book about, surviving marriage, and he did a reality show on his life post-divorce. People would drag him up and down these internet streets. But women can get away with this kind of stuff, because women cheer when a divorce is, done for a woman. When a woman gets, when a divorce happens, a woman should get all the money she can. Or, people were cheering when it was announced that after the divorce, Tia wouldn't have to pay any sort of like spousal support to Cory. People were like, yeah, that's right, that's right. But, if a man gets a divorce from his wife because let's say the wife was cheating, nuh-uh, take him for everything he has. Half, she deserves it. It's always a double standard. But when it comes to the way Tia conducted herself ever since the divorce, like I would not take her back. No, not at all. Like there's just so much that was said that you can't take back because, like I said earlier in the video, the divorce was made public. And had she not been parading around and saying that, oh, I graduated from marriage and, it wasn't serving me, basically making it seem like the marriage was just a downer for her, like it was doing nothing but negative things for her life. If things were kept quiet, like Cory was quiet, if she was as quiet as Cory, this wouldn't be as bad. These two getting together is like, yeah, you know what? People do need time apart. And, I don't know, maybe they tested the waters and found nothing else was out there. So they got back together. But no, just now it's like you're crawling back. So, yeah, if they're really together, more power to them. Couldn't be me, though. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.